Take inertia.
All right, I'll call the meeting to
Take
order.
inertia.
Are there any additions or amendments to the minutes of the last regular meeting? Is there a second?
Second motion.
All in favor of adopting the minutes?
Aye.
Opposed? Nay? It's adopted.
Pete, I'd like to address the before we move on to the next position. Last month we had had a meeting in the public comment section. I felt, and I think other board members felt, we kind of got out of hand. It's set up for comment to the board. It's not a place to read letters. It's not a place to give a presentation. I mean, if you want to do that, get on the agenda. I think last month we settled that, we're going to, public stays behind the beam or in the back here by the seats. But I mean, we don't want to get it to the point where there's town boards that have had people arrested for disorderly conduct. We don't want to have it that we eliminate public, comment, because, we think that it is something that should happen here. But, my concern is I don't want things to get out of hand, and I'm just asking for understanding, and and I think, personally, I'm going to support Pete. This is Pete's meeting to run, and I'm going to support whatever he says. If there's a lot of repetition, it's up to Pete to say that's enough. We'll move on. If it takes if it's taking so much time and it's taken out of our meeting time, he can say enough. We're going to move on, and I'm going to support him. I don't know about the other board members, but I'm supporting him. No, but I just think we'd like to keep some control of it, and but we all felt that it's essential to have public comment, but we'd like to keep it under control, and that's all I'd like to say. And thank you for your cooperation.
Pete? Any other comments from the board? Yeah. Okay. We have any comments from the audience?
I have a request. And currently, if there are going to be public meetings or resolutions or public hearings, the notification is in the Berlin Gazette and the Penny Saver. I would like to request that in addition, if possible, it be placed in the Daily Star, since that is a daily newspaper, whereas the other two I mentioned are weekly. Also, it has a wider audience, so more townspeople would be aware of the meetings and would have the opportunity to then attend. Thank you.
Is it okay if I come up with a couple of...
No. Stay right there, Murray. Go ahead with your...
Well, actually, I want to give you one, and I want to give Jonathan one. If that's okay. I'm not going to read it. It's for you to read later on.
Okay.
Okay? Here you go. It's from a supervisor in the town of Lebanon, so just something that you might want to look at.
Anything else? Yes, sir.
I've been a resident of Morris for 22 years, and these people that run this board have done a fine job, in my opinion, and I've never been to a town meeting. But I understand through the grapevine that a lot of the things that are done here in a public forum has distracted you people from doing your job of taking care of our town. Whether you're for fracking or against fracking, the state has everything in place to govern the fracking. Leave these people the hell alone and leave it up to the state to cover the fracking. That's all I got to say.
Anything else? Yes.
Mr. McCann, my name is Kim Felter. I decided to come to your meeting tonight because I I'm concerned with the fact that your board members don't face the people. These are your constituents who have voted all of you in office. And while they have done that, they have put their public trust in you to face them and address them and let them be involved in your meetings. Okay? So I'm talking with several state officials at this point with regard to this situation. It is blatant disrespect that your members do not face these people. This has gone on over 2 years. It's my understanding. The other thing I would like to address tonight is the fact that the DEC has certain things they are not going to cover with regard to hydraulic fracturing. And I believe that fax was sent into your office earlier this week. If you don't have a copy, I'm more than happy to provide one for you. So I would like to see tonight your board members turn around and face these people, because this issue is getting out of control. And there's more than one public official involved in this issue at this time. And I'm going to see to it that they follow through with this issue. Dave Mertzig's advice to you, I believe at your last town board meeting, that most town boards are passing the gas resolution, is incorrect. Okay? So I just wanted to bring these points to you and address your constituents, and to please ask you to turn your chairs around tonight and allow your people to be involved in your town board meetings. It is blatant disrespect that this continue. Thank you.
If there's no other comments, we'll continue on with the meeting. Looking at bills.
Guess you haven't had too much heat on, huh? $2 worth of the barn.
What's that?
So you haven't had too much heat on, $72 for the barn. Well, I'm looking just to sell a bill. And you may want to adjust them later, Pete. I've had numerous complaints in the last 2 months, it seems. Maybe I think, well, John's been on, so I've heard some of them too. On the amount of people that are not living in our town or paying taxes here, they're starting to use our landfill again. So maybe in the fall, things slow down a little bit, we will have to get more permits and pick a Saturday, and some of the board members go over and with the equalization for the tax rolls again, and see if we can get a handle on it. They said they can look Pittsfield and Butternuts and all over, and they named names, and you've been on some of those conversations.
I've seen it.
Being used quite frequently with outside people. Huh?
I didn't go through it. Yeah, we called them up, corrected it, and they sent us a one with the end. And we took a razor knife, cut the end, turned it around, and made an end out of it. So we got 2 for 1 on that one.
Sign this, please. Sign this one. You look down. Huh?
What's that?
Where'd you find these guys?
They found us. They deal with
What's
a couple of the times.
Oh, for frame on your truck? The paint, is that what it is, frame paint?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a bill.
Yeah, the heck of a time. Holy Hannah. That heated mirror? Is that a heated mirror, Burr?
What's it?
Which one? One is, one isn't.
The electric?
It's the whole assembly too.
I was just saying.
It's not just the
That'd be
mirror.
more than a mirror for $995.
It's all the
Oh,
brackets,
Hannah.
2 mirrors and controls, self-adjusting.
Oh,
That's 2 mirrors, isn't it?
yeah.
Says
Well,
one.
no, that's the fancy one.
This one,
But everybody knows.
no, you're not getting any rubber on my truck.
Wouldn't look right on them anyhow.
Huh?
Wouldn't look right on them anyhow.
No. I'm gonna retire, or in the process of retiring from there, I'm gonna.
Is there a motion authorizing the supervisor to pay the audit bills?
So moved.
Seconded?
All in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Carried. Right now, I'd like to move on to the opening of the bids for the equipment for the new plow truck. The first bid is from Viking Cetus USA. They submitted 2 proposals on this bid. First one is $82,301. And then there's an option one, which is $73,881.89. The second bid is from Henderson's Truck and Equipment. And the bid is $73,719.
How much feet?
$73,719.
Put them down.
There's a deduct option in there.
Huh?
There is an option in there. It says in move 304 stainless steel, there's a deduct for 201. For the deduct is $2,220. That's also stainless steel.
Salesman from Henderson.
Yeah, I understand, but I don't understand what he's talking about deduct on.
A deduct means
I understand a deduct, but what are you deducting?
If you decide to go from 304 stainless steel
To what?
to 201 stainless steel.
But what did he bid?
He bid at 304, but 201 exceeds the town specifications.
And
That's, I will have a question at Viking at 73,881 is probably core 10 steel.
The third bid is from Wayne's Welding. And that bid is for $95,768.
85, 7, 1.
$95,768. That concludes the openings. The bids will be examined by the highway superintendent. To see which ones comply. You want to set a date? For the highway committee to meet with the highway superintendent and award the bids.
Pete, I think we ought to have a motion that we're going to do this from the whole board, that we're going to have highway superintendent examine the boards, the highway committee will meet, and after examination of the bids to meet the specs, and go over them with our highway superintendent and have the full blessing of the board to award the bid to the lowest bidder meeting the specs.
Okay.
I'll make that motion.
Well, they have to be examined.
Right, I understand, but if we make the motion now, and then the committee can pick this one, and he can go ahead and order it instead of waiting for another month.
Right. We'll set a date for the committee to meet
Right.
with John sometime next week. Should be able to.
As soon as you can, appreciate it.
But we got the motion made to approve it, depending on his acceptance, and then our committee meeting, then we can go ahead and authorize him to do it after we got the motion made to go ahead.
Okay.
So I make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second motion.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Tuesday noon time, enough? Yes? Everybody? We meet at 93 Main Street, the town clerk's office. Yep.
May I just support for 1 second? New York State law mandates that the letter of collusion be verified that it's in the bid.
It will be.
It has to be verified at the opening. If it's not in there, it can't be accepted. That's New York State law 103, 104. Which is something that when we fill our reports, we have to verify it. It just protects us and it protects the town. Just in case it just takes 1 second, you put a letter of collusion in there. I'm sorry to put you through this. It's just that in the past, we've not verified it, and the next thing, we're getting a phone call, and the town has to go through the bid process all over again. We actually lost the state of Vermont bid by not putting in the letter of collusion. It cost us 148 trucks. I'm sorry to put you folks through this. It's just the law.
That's right in with our spec, right?
Yes, it just has to be signed.
Right.
Is that what-
Henderson's has
Mine is signed and notarized.
the non-collusive bidder certification.
Viking does?
I'm sorry to put you guys through this. We just gotta cross our T's and dot our I's, that's all.
And there's Wayne's.
The finance committee met prior to the meeting, reviewed the supervisors and clerk collector's financial reports for the month of July 2012. John, you want to do your report?
Well, since the last meeting, DOT came through and did our bridge inspections, and we lost a bridge, Beat Road. They sent a runner out, find me, tell me to close it. So we dumped a truckload of gravel on either apron. They came back 8 o'clock at night, checked, make sure we get it. So I don't think they were fooling around. We called an engineer to come up, a shoemaker. First step to have an engineer take a look at it, and they said,
Not the first time.
not fixable. And there's an approximation for a replacement for it.
Rough estimate, 200,000.
Plus engineering fees.
Go,
They got survey and mapping, undefined subcontract costs, that's 17,000.
go to the next page.
That's their approximation for the whole thing, I believe.
I believe
That's all
it
it
was
was.
raised, 200,000.
Well, one's all right there. No, it does not say that as engineering cost. It says the estimated construction cost is 200,000. Plus engineering fees. Design, they're about 17,000. Final design, survey and mapping, subcontractor cost, 17,500. So this, Pete, have you talked to him? Or John, have you talked to the engineers?
A little bit.
What? For 200,000 bucks that they're proposing, what kind of bridge are they talking putting back in there? What are they?
I think the one that's there is a little over 60 feet. They're looking at one, their estimates were 170 feet,
By
one lane,
still one
a
lane.
little better than lane, which doesn't matter because you got one lane road on either side of it. And it's not doing anything with the abutments that are there. It's putting a new abutment behind the existing abutment, so we don't have to mess with the butternut. And then just spanning the new bridge between the two new abutments that are out on the aprons.
Well, I guess what we as a board's got to decide is We certainly don't have the money to go buy it all, pay for it all at once. If we do it, is it the usefulness of the bridge, how many people use it? How we finance it if we decide to do it? It's not as bad a project as that one over in Maple Grove. But they want that sluice pipe.
I don't,
That's a rough estimate, you understand
Yeah.
that? They did
Yeah.
not,
They didn't bid it or anything else, they're on.
well, they didn't, you know.
Okay, I understand.
they said the bridge is about 130, and then the abutments, we don't have anything that big for equipment. It's gonna take a big excavator to stick in the abutments on the other sides. They figure that's gonna be like another 70 or something. It was kind of loose. If you do it, if you say yeah, then they get the pencil out and fancy it up a little better, but that's a ballpark.
This is one engineering firm's opinion.
Right, right.
Okay,
You want a second
do we
opinion?
want a second opinion?
We could do that. We've used Delaware Engineering several times on bridges in the past, and maybe before you were supervisor.
The last one we used was the engineer for Spectra.
Oh, yeah, okay. We've used them too.
And-
We used to use Delaware on this one down here,
The last time it was Spectra that did,
but I think the one that you're talking about did it.
and we had the county rail and bridge did the repair work on it.
So, just out of curiosity, with all this bridge money and stuff floating around, would it be worth it? Somebody to, the board, at least talk to Seward and see what could happen?
Bridge money, what,
Well, federal money and stuff flowing into New York State for fixing bridges and, before we, just ask.
I'm not aware of any, if you're aware.
Well, they're happening all the time on these different roads, it's federal bridge money, that's what's keeping supposedly the economy going and bringing all the work back, and of course, we get construction magazines all the time, and it's the bridge money is supposed to be keeping the economy flowing around the USA. I don't know if they get on into small bridges or not, but I just wonder if it'd pay to ask if there's anything to help a town on a small bridge.
Talk to FEMA, and they're not
They
going to
won't
do
touch
anything.
it. Yeah, this is come from the storm.
Well, it's all bent up underneath and the trees leaned on it for 2 months. It may have, but that date's come and gone. That would have been applied for like October. And the storm was in September. We're way late on that. Then for the mitigation stuff, we're competing against the entire state. You got towns the next county over that aren't there anymore.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't know if they, sometimes it's just based to ask, maybe you get shot.
Yeah, I talked to FEMA. They said no, but find somebody else to talk to them, please.
What's the thoughts on a second opinion?
I say yes.
I agree with Bruce. Let's see what the whole picture is first.
I'll get them here, use Spectra.
I would say Spectra, that they
They were on it last
checked
time.
the last time. Spectra is also under the county bid.
Okay.
So both of these these engineering firms are under the county bid.
Is there any news on Little Fire?
No.
On the dirt roads, we got some driveways that run out on the dirt roads. And so when it rains bad, the water comes down the dirt roads, cuts into the road, erodes the road, and then goes back to the ditch. And everything I could find says that's not right. I have my law book here, and it's up to owners to maintain their entrances onto our highways. And then we have a town policy that says you can't drain off your driveway onto our roads. We have dirt roads that we have to fix every time it rains. They're getting cut up. What do I do about that?
Well, certainly when you redo a sluice or something happens on it and they have to put something in, or they pave it and make it a hard surface, that they have to have, the state law, they have to have a back swale off your shoulder.
Right.
But sometimes it's been existing there for a long time, so pain in the, we went through that a few years ago and to go to every landowner on a dirt road and say you gotta redo your driveway is kind of a...
Well, there's only a couple that are bad, and I
Now, you're talking on Little Filer?
No, I'm talking on dirt roads.
Oh, I thought we were talking Little Filer.
There's no houses on that.
Yeah, well, I know, because some of them wanted to close, the landowners.
I told the guy today he's gotta fix his driveway, and he said, nope, I'm not fixing it. So I called the county superintendent, see what he said. He told me to mark back 24'9" from the center of the road, do whatever I want, so that we're happy with it, and then send the landowner a bill for what we did. I was just wondering what you wanted me to do about it. Because we run a load of gravel up and a machine up.
Which shouldn't happen.
Every, couple times a year even, is ridiculous. Just didn't fix stuff and have it stay fixed and have stuff right.
Can you fix it within 24 feet? Sometimes you
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
tip the driveway and get it into a ditch.
Yeah. It's gonna change the math of it, but we can get the water so it goes in the ditch where it's supposed to, instead of really eroding our roads. I hate rework.
Well, there's one thing, John, whatever you decide to do, you're gonna have to stay with it. You start to do that, you're gonna have to hold that throughout your policy. You can't do it to charge one person and not charge somebody else later on. If that policy starts, you've gotta stay with it.
You guys have no opinion?
How much it's gonna take to fix it?
Half a day, 2 guys, 3 guys, load or 2 of gravel.
That he's in opposition to us doing anything?
No, I haven't run that by him. He's in opposition to fixing it himself.
Pete, they're talking about me. I've been over here 15 years. That road has been the same way as 15 years. That road has been cut down so many times and dirt taken out of there that it's down. Perry Dixon came in and he put 15 loads of dirt to make my driveway level.
That road's paved.
Okay, this is not the forum right now for it.
Don't tell me about no paving, John, because you don't know the scenario up there.
I was on there today, it's paved.
You don't know the whole scenario,
When they
John.
lift up the pavement, cut it down, and put the pavement back on.
No, the pavement was done after the dirt.
John, Joe, hold on.
I've got nothing else.
and you're gonna follow up with every other driveway in this town that has a pitch to the road.
All right, let's continue on.
Wait a minute, let's go back to Little Pilot. You started with it.
No, he asked if there was anything back.
The only thing I did is, I don't know if you got a letter or not, but there was supposed to be a letter coming from Brian Norton, Bill Pickens, Lyle Klein, they were owners on the one side of the road, requesting to close that road. I said, I thought there was one person on the other side might have.
Well, I haven't turned it over to the town's attorney pending to see what we're gonna do with Pete Road.
Okay.
There's no sense in doing one and then
No.
if any action in that manner is gonna be taken on Pete Road, better off doing it uniformly and together. All right,
So Pete, let's back up. And let's stop everything. We got a situation on a town road that's causing a safety hazard. Is that what you're telling us?
I'm telling you, the road is eroded. Water's come down the driveway, out into the road, cut into the road and back into the ditch. And it's been fixed and fixed. Till the driveway's fixed, the road isn't gonna be fixed. And I don't wanna spend everybody's money to change the road to accommodate a driveway.
I think it's gonna take some thought, Don, that we got some issues there that it's gonna be town-wide. And that's why I asked how much it would take to accommodate a few taxis. There's only a few wishes.
Well, it's cheaper in the long run to fix it properly than to keep fixing the road. You gotta fix the problem. You want to authorize me to make adjustments to problem driveways, we're going to do it.
I think what we've got to set a policy for, John, is that once they're in, it's kind of hard to make adjustments. You know, they were accepted at one point. But once any new drivers, we make darn sure, and I don't think the policy's been enforced very much around when people put new driveways in.
I know it hasn't.
That they come and get a permit to put them in, so
those driveways will come up to the crown.
Even if they know it, so that the god darn thing's back swale. The ones we've got, and we've accepted them, I think almost we have to fix them. And see if we can live with them. It might be the less aggravation and less everything for everybody and the cheapest way out in the end.
Just fix them. Yes, sir.
That's what I say. You know, they existed, we accept them as town roads, they've been accepted for years. If work came on it, somebody starts working on that driveway, then you would address how the work was done, as long as they're existing and not change. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I'm saying if somebody went in that driveway, any driveway, and regraded it, come out onto your road, changed the pitch, changed the gravel, changed the hard surface of it or anything else, at that point, you say, okay, just like the state or the county does. The state or county will not go in on somebody's existing driveway right now and do something. They'll deal with it and deal with it. But if we go in there to start work on it, mister, when we get done that work, it better be so that water don't flow on the road.
Well, that's the only reason we would do it.
And that's what I'm saying. I think maybe at that point we have to start putting a transition to go to the homeowner to make sure it's done right. But what's there now and we've accepted as a town and let get away with it, I don't know how we can change it at this point.
Okay.
And that's my feeling. I think you're gonna open up a big can of worms all over the whole town that we might not wanna get into.
So just keep fixing the roads.
No, just go into the driveway, go back on your right of way and make it right so you don't have to keep fixing roads.
Okay. Is that what I do?
Let's table that for right now
Good idea.
and do some investigating before we start changing policies.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't be
It's not changing.
That
the
wouldn't be
policy.
changed policy, that's been doing as we've been doing
That
for
is
the
the
last
policy,
100 years.
it's just following the policy.
That's what we're doing for the last 100 years. But anything new, we've got to make sure that's put in right or reworked.
Let's table it for now. Okay.
But I would like to get a legal opinion on it also. I agree with Royce, but there's a legal opinion as to when.
Because of the transition from with the courts, I'd like to now present the annual report for review for the Town Justice Court for the year 2011.
Every driveway in every town that we lived on, we got to go and permit, don't cost anything, but we got to have it approved by them, we get it done. You got to sign it?
We're going to do a resolution. Is there a motion resolving that the town board of the town of Morris hereby acknowledges receipt of court records and dockets from the Morristown Justice for the year ending 12/31/2011?
So,
I'll second the motion.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
aye.
Opposed, no? present to the board, Board Resolution 13, 2012, this resolution adopting official undertaking of municipal officers. Whereas various sections of New York State Town Law and Public Officers Law require that certain officials execute an official undertaking, and whereas the town board of the town of Morris hereby requires the town supervisor, town clerk, tax collector, superintendent of highways, and town justice to execute said official undertaking as required by said law. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Morris approve the documents entitled Town of Morris Official Undertaking of Municipal Officers as to its form and manner of execution and sufficiency of insurance, and be it further resolved that said official undertaking containing notarized signatures of those named municipal officers be filed with the office of the clerk, tax collector, as well as the original copies of the insurance policies indicating the sufficiency and sureties of indemnify to indemnify the town against losses which may arise from failure of such officials to properly discharge their duties. Is there a motion adopting this resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, no? Resolution adopted. Next matter of business is the court clerk. This is the resume of the person that the town justice would like to have employed as the town's court clerk.
Make the motion, accept the recommendations.
I'll second.
The, as far as the clerk's wages and times, these are the amounts based on $15 per hour pay scale. Working 12 hours per pay period, annually be approximately $4,680. Working 15 hours per pay period, it'd be approximately $6,000 annually. There is
Pay period is 2 weeks.
2 weeks. So the first 12 hours of pay period would be 12 hours a year. The $6,000 one is 400 hours a year.
I'm trying to go back to my mind to when Steve Leahy was here.
The current clerk is working, redoing, updating old files and whatnot.
Right.
She's been running, 13 to 20 hours a pay period.
To just Judge. Judge, how many hours do you feel that you need a clerk, Kirk?
Just for the, excuse me, just for the function of the court itself, would probably be 5, 10, 15, probably between a range of 15 to 20, depending on the load.
Every 2 weeks.
Every two weeks. Every week, I'm sorry. Because I hold court twice a week. And then
You mean month? You're talking on a month. Pay period is 2 weeks.
2 weeks is
So
the
you
pay.
have one court night in the 2 week
Okay,
period nights.
right, so it's two pay periods a month, that's 5, 10, that's 15, so that'd be about 20 hours a month.
10 hours a pay period.
Yes, 10 hours of pay period.
And is that
But,
what
but part of the problem is now the system is so antiquated is that the courts require us to file everything in a sequence for disposal. And they have to be disposed of in a certain time frame according to the crime. Okay, so all the records that are existing have to be gone through to evaluate whether we can dispose of them, whether we have to retain them, or do we have to close files? Because any child or anything like that would be a closed file, and we're not allowed to give any information on anything of that nature. So we need a few extra hours to get that system up to speed.
So the second one was how many hours every pay period?
That would be 15 pay
Every
period.
pay period. He said 10. I make a motion we do the second one. Give him a little time to do his records and.
Okay, so what we're looking for is a maximum
Right.
number of hours. She may not utilize
Right.
all of them,
Right.
and so we'll cap her annual hours at 400 hours.
Correct. Unless we're gonna get into the thing of, we haven't had in late years, but we've had to have special things at our town board where that they used to have a trial or something, and we had to have authorization. Remember those years ago? Where we had to have, unless we have special circumstances, which would be approved or whatever, I guess.
It would
Yeah.
probably fit in 400.
Okay.
Yes, it should. And the $15 an hour,
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
So, is there a motion to appoint Catherine Davis as court clerk?
We already did that,
No, I did,
Oh, okay.
I did the money.
And,
Actually, Jacob did make a motion to
I
accept the
motion to accept the
recommendation.
recommendation.
Okay,
And
yeah,
seconded
okay.
by you and Gary.
Yes, that's right.
then we just need a start date.
Correct.
And we had a motion from Royce for
On the
the
money.
money, but not a second yet.
Well, we may as well include the date on the money and that'll get one motion on it. So we've got a motion to go with $15 per hour. Now we're gonna have plus what date do we start at?
The present court clerk is done August 31st, correct?
Yes, she's going to be leaving us on August 31st.
So September 1st would be the official date. But in the meantime,
You're gonna have some carryover training.
she will need to be brought up to speed. So her appointment will be September 1st
As official court clerk.
as court clerk. And
Trainee as of a certain date, is that what you?
trainee When is Shannon coming in?
I was down there all day today with her, and then she will be back next week sometime, and she wants to spend the full day with the new clerk.
Okay. So,
What's the date today, Pete?
the 14th.
Let's make it 15.
Okay. Authorizing her to be paid during the training period, the same wages
Right, we can't have her up there for nothing.
as she is going to receive when she becomes court clerk.
And I'll second that motion.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Is there any other business?
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting. Second motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I wanted to say something about this. October. Oh,
I think she's got a bunch down.
a different color? You want to paint, that's what we used to do, we used to change colors. We used to change color.
Anybody? Because someone tells me, you let it go, and by myself, and then you tell me to shut up.
I couldn't hear that.
You don't?
Shot, I see.
All right.